Sehego. My name is Tamara Green. As Indogenesis personal chef, I craft meals using only pre-colonial ingredients. For me, the recipe starts with the land, and today I'm going to be showing you how to forage for some of these native ingredients. Today we're going to be harvesting amaranth, which is also known as pigweed. It's an important food source for nations such as the Iroquois, Navajo, and Aztecs, and grows widely in southern Canada through to South America, mostly in agricultural fields, disturbed soils, and wetlands. The plant first appears once nighttime temperatures are well above freezing, and it can be identified by oval leaves that have a notch at the tip but are otherwise simple and not lobed or toothed. They have stalks arranged alternately on the stems, which they themselves are slightly hairy. To gather, cut the leaves off at the base of the tender stems. This is for the health of the plant. Always cut and do not pinch or tear. The act of pinching leaves rough, exposed edges that will heal slowly and more than likely scar. Just like humans heal quick from a clean cut, so do plants, and they often can regrow when the clean cut close to the stalk is achieved. I think that probably the best and most responsible way to think about foraging is not as harvesting, but to think of it as pruning. You are trying to collect these items in such a way that actually encourages proper ecobalance. It actually encourages these plants to grow stronger, more proficiently, because not only do you want to be able to keep foraging this year after year, not only do you want it to be available for others to forage year after year, but it's not just our food. Animals are out here every day, and they are eating these things. I mean, you have to notice sometimes that there are holes in the leaves. Those don't just happen. A bug has been eating at that. Sometimes, you'll see holes like this. There's been woodpeckers in these forests. This isn't just our forest. There are animals here too, and you have to consider that. You don't want to remove all their food source. The second thing we're foraging today are maple flowers. Now these ones I don't actually cut off, unlike the leaves I did, because I like to choose the maple flowers that are ready to fall off the tree. They're not dead or wilted in any sort of way, but they're ready to fall off the tree, because then I know I'm not stripping the tree of anything that it needs to procreate. So I take my fingers on either side of the base of the stem of the flowers, and I gently peel that stem downward, and if it just snaps off the branch easily, then I know it was ready to fall off. If it doesn't, then I move on to the next bunch of flowers until I find one that does. So we're going to take these inside, and I'll show you what to do with them. From what we foraged, we're going to make an amaranth maple strawberry salad. So to start off, we're going to gently poach our strawberries. I don't want to cook them, I don't want them to be mush, but I do want that heat from our cranberry or rhubarb juice so that it quickly penetrates our strawberries. If you want to do this ahead of time, you can use cold juice and you can soak them for 24 hours, but we're going to do this really quick. So I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of pure cranberry juice or rhubarb juice and just bring that to a gentle boil. Next, we're going to take a few strawberries. There's 2 ways you can cut the green off. One is just to go straight across with a paring knife and you get a flat edge. The other is to dig the tip about a 1/4 inch down into your strawberry around the green and go around in a circle all around the base of the leaves, and then it pops off. It's not a perfectly flat edge, so some people don't like to do that for appearance's sake, but it does waste far less strawberry. And I think one thing you realize when you start foraging your own food, you don't want to over forage, so you realize how precious every little bit is. So I prefer to do the digging method rather than straight across. We're only going to be making one salad today, so I think 5 strawberries is plenty. If you love strawberries, feel free to go for more, but I don't want the salad to become too weighed down by our strawberries. Now that I've taken all the leaves off, I'm going to slice the strawberries. You can quarter it if you want. Just slice it in half. And 90 degrees to that, slice it in half again. You got nice little quarters like that. Or you can go top to tail, north to south, into slices, nice long slices. You get something like that. Or you can go east to west, side to side, to get nice circular slices. Whichever way you prefer. The only difference this makes is the quarters, the strawberry quarters, are much thicker than my slices are, which means not only is it going to take longer for our cranberry juice to penetrate this strawberry, it's not going to penetrate as evenly as my slice. So if you're doing the quick method, it's probably best not to quarter your strawberries, but to slice them, whether you're doing it north to south or east to west. Okay, and the time it took to cut those, my cranberry juice has just started to boil. I'm just going to pour that cranberry juice all over the strawberries. You see it'll pretty much cover them. Now that our strawberries are soaking, the second thing we're going to do is start heating up our oil for our flowers. It'll take a few minutes to heat up, but don't take that for granted. Keep your eye on it. Don't leave the kitchen while your oil is heating up ever, because it will heat up fast and it can go from hot to burning very quickly, and that can be quite dangerous. To make our fried maple flowers, like I said, we need obviously the flowers that we've just foraged. We need our amaranth flower, but in this little bowl, we're going to put some of our grade A maple syrup. The maple syrup is going to help the amaranth flowers stick to our maple flowers. I'm holding stem first, and I'm dumping the flowers into the syrup, dragging them through to make sure that syrup's getting between each flower. Gently spinning it around to remove the excess maple syrup. I don't want to spin them around too radically, otherwise the flowers might start to fall off the stem. You'll see there's one right in there. Okay, now gently drag it through the amaranth flower. Make sure all those maple flowers are getting separated, individually coated. Shake off the excess flour. Lay that right there. And you're just going to repeat this process until all of your flowers are coated. Depending on how many flowers you're doing, if you're making one salad's worth like I am, your oil should be just about the right temperature by the time you're done coating your maple buds. Our fryer oil has just come up to temp. If you're using a thermometer, the temperature we're looking for is 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius. And then you can drop it in. Don't be too frightened of the oil. Generally, that's when it bites. They're barely are going to make our dressing. For our dressing, we're going to want just about a 1/4 cup of oil. I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup of maple syrup vinegar. And again, 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Lastly, we have our sunflower butter. I'm not going to use a 1/4 cup of that, a little less, more like 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup. And that's really what's going to give thickness and body to our dressing because of the lectin that is present in sunflowers that has a thickening power. I'm going to seal that jar nice and tight. Make sure you have it on tight. And just shake it up until it's thoroughly mixed. Smells good. Add salt. Now the last thing we're going to do is trim our amaranth. The stems aren't too bad, but if you don't like them, simply just pinch them off. And the amaranth itself is a fairly neutral leaf. It doesn't have a lot of distinct flavor, but in the aftertaste, it tastes of strawberry. Hence why we're pairing it with strawberries in this salad. I don't mind a little bit of stem, especially on these small leaves. The stem is so fine. Just some of these leaves are a little bit more mature, and I don't really want to chew through a lot of stems. On behalf of Indogenesis and Ontario Culture Days, thank you for watching and learning with us. I hope you tune in for the next set of foraging and cooking videos that will be coming out to follow. Until then, bon appetit!